Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ed Considine hosting your Google by the Beach series over here at the bowling building in downtown Dudley Square. Happy to be here for our third week of our Google Learning Series session. Today we're going to be talking about Google+, but I also want to do a little review of our Google Drive series and our Google Classroom. Just a few logistics as we get started. We are broadcasting on our YouTube channel. We're broadcasting from Google Plus page that I sent those links out to you, as well as in BPS Learns. So any one of those three venues should do. We also have the all-important back channel, and the back channel is our today's Meet link, and that's right at the top of our course page. So I'm going to take you there to our back channel and let you see what's going on and show you some of the logistics of the course. In the back channel, feel free to ask questions, to talk to each other, get a little side conversation going with each other. I know you'll be all gripped and on every word that I say, but the important part about this is also making connections with other colleagues in this series. So we're here today in our week 3 introduction to Google+, and you can see there's the broadcast. I'm not going to hit the play button because that will just cause that prism effect. But here's the back channel here, and I'm just going to share that for a moment. And you can see that we have people engaging in the back channel. It's nice to see everybody online. Thank you for joining us, everybody, and saying hello in today's meet. I want to welcome with us today in the back channel, helping me out. We have Jan Manfredi over here at the bowling building, and Natasha Scott, who was with us during our last session. So thank you, Janice and Natasha. So please ask as many questions as you like. If they cannot answer them in the back channel, we'll try to bring them to the broadcast and give you some as much information as we can. So we're here in the session for our week 3 broadcast. People are still getting oriented to BPS Learns, and I understand it's a new system for people. It might be your first time using it or your second time for some. You all, if you went through the Laptop to Learning program, you know that this is where you took your L4L course to be eligible for your laptop. Over on the right side of your BPS Learns page, you should be able to see a gradebook feature, and there you can see your grades as I complete the grading the assignments and just checking them off that they're completed. So please make sure that you are able to monitor that, and if they're not listed there, please be patient. I will be getting around to the submissions later this week. So we're in the Google Introductions to Google Plus week 3. I just want to talk about what we're doing for week 3. Some of the tasks that you're going to be charged with this week are listed here in the center of the page. So week 3's tasks are we're going to view the broadcast and participate in the back channel and the exit ticket. So make sure that you access the Google form, which is our exit ticket. And it's a good example of a quick way to use a Google form for collecting data. And we're using that for our attendance during these sessions. And then we're going to get a little more involved in Google Plus this week. We'll be setting up our Google Plus account, completing our profile, exploring some of the Google Plus communities in those pages, and we're going to be exploring and looking at some articles and participating in a forum about those articles, about what it means to use social media like Google Plus with other teachers, and in general, how is that going to impact teaching and learning. So again, thank you for joining us. Those are the tasks for this week. I'm going to scroll down the page just a little bit to orient you to the session. And so there's the back channel, there's the exit ticket. Click on that link there to fill out the Google form. And let's see, oops, I'm not sharing my screen. Was I sharing my screen? No, I wasn't sharing my screen. Okay, sorry about that. Let me share my screen. There we are. So I'm seeing the Explore and Learn section of our Google page. We are looking at some articles. So you're going to choose one of those articles at least. They're excellent articles, and hopefully they're provocative and get you stimulating some thinking around your upcoming September start with your new students and your new staff. So please take a look at the forum here. This is a place where you can ask, we've asked a question, and that's the forum there. So if you go in here, read the prompt, and click reply, you can start a conversation that will help you sort of get the most out of it and interact with your colleagues as well. So the other part of our challenges are to set up your Google Plus account, explore those communities, and write a short review. And then we're going to start a Hangout or a Hangout on air. If you haven't experienced a Google Hangout, you're in for a treat. Right now, this is a Hangout on air, and as you know, we're broadcasting live on YouTube with it, and we are recording it at the same time. So we're really loving the features of Google Hangouts and Hangouts on air. So again, there are some resources here for week 3, just some tutorials to get you started. Hopefully that's an easy week to navigate, and we're clear on what we need to do. So I want to just take a look at the today's meet and see if we have any questions, and just check in with Jan and Natasha before we get started in a little bit of a review of Classroom. Great, everyone can see. Yep, that's always a good thing that you can actually see the broadcast. So I'm sharing my screen. I'm going to do a little review of Google Drive and then a little review of Classroom. So just like give me 5 minutes before we delve deep into Google Plus, because I'm excited about that. So I want to just orient you to my Drive. Again, I'm in my DLT account. That's our Digital Learning Team account, where all of our professional development materials are housed. And as you can see, we have a lot of folders here, a lot of documents that are part of our work here. This is our Digital Learning Team folder. We have folders within folders, and it's really a nice way to organize our work together. We're constantly adding to these folders. And remember, the sharing permissions of a folder mean that when you create a new document in the folder, for example, if I go into this folder here and I create a new document, this document will have the same permissions, sharing permissions as the selected folder. So it's really nice to have that. I can always go in and change the sharing permissions of an individual document within a folder, but I'd have to do that manually and I'd have to do that consciously. So I just want to be sure that I know who I am sharing my documents with. And remember, sharing permissions you have a lot of options, and this is a blank document. And I'm going to just give it a title. I'm just going to say Google. And I'm going to save it. And now I'm going to share it. And just a little bit about sharing. If this was a document I just wanted to send a link out to, I can do that here. I can just send a link, and it's copied on my clipboard. So all I have to do is paste it. But now I have anyone in Boston Public Schools can view it. And that's the beauty of having our Google Apps for Domain account. We have just people within our domain can see it. We can also change that. So we could have a collaborative document. If I sent this link out to all of you and gave you editing rights, we could all collaborate on this this document together. So let's say I wanted to do that. I copied the link, and then I can send it out, or I can invite individual users here too. You know, I'd like to collaborate with Natasha Scott on our, there she is there. So I'm going to make Natasha an editor, and then I'm going to add Jan Manfredi as well. And there's Jan there. And I've given Jan editing. I could also change their permissions to commenting or just viewing if I just wanted to look at them. So sharing, you can get very specific in your sharing permissions, setting those for your users. It's a really nice way. Under the advanced area, you still have some of those same privileges, but you can change who can have access. If you want it to be accessible to people outside of the Boston Public Schools, you can change that. And you can modify those permissions. So I'm just going to sort of cancel that and not send it out to my people and be done with that. So I hope that sort of gives you a little update on sharing permissions within Google Drive. Again, I'm back to my Drive. It's easy to know where your folders are. You can move things around when you open up a document in Google Drive. It always appears with what Liz calls our little gray folder at the top. And that tells you that where you can you can move your document into another folder. So that's a really nice way to organize it. One of the things, because we have so many documents in our Google Drive folder here, I can also do a quick search of a document if I wanted to talk about Connected Educator Month, which I'm sort of going to talk about today. And there it is there. I have a folder for Connected Educator Month with a lot of documents in here too. So searching, sharing are two great tools to be using with Google Drive. So I'm going to pause for a second on that and see if we have any questions about Google Drive. Come back to our series. Any questions out there, Jen or Natasha? Okay. It looks good. Google Classroom, I've been checking for signups. We have almost 1,000 teachers with Google Classroom accounts. If you have not been able to set up your account for some reason, please shoot me an email. I'm happy to help you out. But Google Classroom is a great way to talk about the beginning of the year, where we want to provide an opportunity for students to engage with content beyond the brick and mortar buildings, beyond the normal school day and school hours, and have access to learning materials and content and each other from home or from a community center or a library, but essentially having that anywhere, anytime access to learning materials. Google Classroom does that for us. Students can refer to their classroom from mobile devices, from laptop computers, from desktop computers. They can see assignments that have been given to them. They can engage in conversation in the streaming of Google Classroom and have their assignments submitted completely online. And it all organizes within Google Drive. So I hope you're getting the ability to sort of practice with Google Classroom and to set it up for your September students. I see that sometimes my screen might go blurry. I might be scrolling a little fast, folks, and because we're on a video feed, a live streaming feed, I might be just messing with the bandwidth here. So excuse me for any problems with your visuals. It might not be your computer, it could be just me. As we say, it's not you, it's me. So please bear with us if that's happening. So Google Classroom, don't forget to revisit the broadcast. We have the broadcast here was recorded, so you can access it from our week 2 session. And any of the resources that we had a great discussion in our virtual office hours last week, and I look forward to having that again on Thursday. I will try to increase my screen size, Natasha. I'm not sure that I can do that here. Is it, it's not coming out so clearly or too small? I'll try to do that. Yep, I'll try to do that. I'm going to get switch over to our I'm just going to refresh my page for a second. I seem to have frozen. There we go. So I'm refreshing my page right there. I'm on today's Meet. Again, I hope you're all having a great summer. I'm zooming in a little bit, Natasha. I hope that's a little bit better and viewable. Oh, good, good. Toggling between pages. Okay, so we introduced ourselves. We talked about this week's assignments. So again, just some series reminders. If you're taking it for PDPs, please submit your assignments through BPS Learns. That way, it's much easier for me to keep track of them rather than receive an email and then submit them to the gradebook in BPS Learns. So please, you know, try to keep track on those challenges that we're putting up each week. And so today we're going to talk about, we've just reviewed some basics of Google Drive and Classroom. I'm glad that it's better, Natasha. Thank you for the heads up. And now we're going to talk about sort of being a connected educator. And this is something that I mentioned we have a folder full of in Google Drive. But the whole purpose of learning Google is not just to learn how to use a tool, but it's learning how to share. And so much of what Google offers is the ability to collaborate, to share, to participate in the building and constructing of new ideas and new knowledge. And so that's what being a connected educator is all about. It's about tapping into the strength of numbers of other educators, sharing what others have used successfully, improving our best practices, and improving our own craft. So I'm very excited that October, again, will be Connected Educator Month here in BPS. We will have another online course for people to participate in and see what's going on around the world in terms of being a connected educator. There's a nice quote right here that I would like to share with you. I hope it's coming out nice and large for you. It's about, you can read that, but being connected is about getting to know new people who can stretch your thinking, but also sharing knowledge to help some schools stronger than they once were. Being connected helps us unify our voices so we can show that we're more innovative than people may believe, but also poke the hornet's nest so others won't rest on the laurels of accomplishments from decades ago. I'm very excited about that, being able to bring that into our work. Okay, I'm just looking at the, okay, that looks like that's a message for somebody in the, who's watching it from YouTube. So I'm just gonna, yeah, try to, if you're watching it in BPS Learns, folks, you can click on that right-hand corner icon to expand to full screen, so it goes right into YouTube there. So I hope that helps. So what does being a connected educator have to do with Google? Well, as I said, Google gives us the ability to collaborate and to share knowledge, to share work, to reach out not just to colleagues down the hallway or in another school building, but across the country, across the world. It gives us the capacity to engage our students with students from other parts of the world if we so choose, sharing pictures, sharing experiences, and sharing writing assignments, sharing writing projects with people from across the world and collaborating on those. So it's a nice way to sort of bring in authentic audiences, real people doing real things, and it's also a nice way to sort of motivate students to say, this is not just for your teacher anymore. The work that you're doing is not just for your teacher. It represents you to the world, and that's really what we want our students to aspire to have a voice, to have an identity, to be confident that they have connections as well. So what do we do when we're working? What's the purpose or benefits of having a collaborative working environment or a network of people? Because being a connected educator is also about being a part of a professional learning network, or as we say, a professional learning community. And just this is a list of some things that we can do. And this is what we do every day, maybe with a partner at school near our classroom, but it's also Twitter and social media, Google+, help us to stretch those boundaries beyond our classroom, our own neighborhood, and to be able to share, post ideas, and learn from people further away. So having a network is part of a community. It's going to help us grow and improve our own craft. So I hope that's a little glimpse into our Connected Educator Month that we are embarking on in October. So I just want to briefly remind you of what our context is for learning and where we want our students to be. So we are looking at basic skills, of functional skills, all the way up to strategic digital literacies. And that's where we're hoping that your use of Google alone, or Google Ask for Education, and all the things that you can bring into the Google experience, Padlet we showed last week, we're looking at today's Meet now. There are other tools that can be embedded and associated with Google to help build those strong critical thinking literacies that our students are going to need to be successful in the post-career, in post-college and career world, where they have to anticipate so many things that haven't happened yet: new jobs, new career, new skills. So that's our glimpse into our strategic digital literacies. So just a little word before I get into Google+, just that part of the series and part of this learning is that professional development is something that teachers can have more control over than they've ever had before, because the learning opportunities are out there, like participating in this Google series. There are lots of resources where you can connect with people during Twitter chats or joining communities in Google Plus to share and to experience professional development learning or professional learning to help you improve your craft. So we are going to be going forward now with looking at our Google Plus. But just some of the things that we can learn specifically about Google Plus is that some of the ways we can connect with other educators, we have the ability to record our video and put it on YouTube. We can conduct polls and a little research on quick assessments in our Google Plus community. We can create communities of people who share same interests, or teachers or schools who are trying to have a place that they go to ask questions and share resources. And as you know, we can create special events and invite people to them. So that's what we'll be exploring today in Google+. So I'm going to pause for a second, have a sip of water. If you're at the beach, go take a dip in the water quickly. Stay away from those seals and the great whites if you're down on Cape Cod. And I'm just going to check today's meet and see if we can answer any questions. Great. Great. So why Google+? What is Google+, and why do we use it? So Google+ is essentially Google's social media platform. It's very similar to other social media platforms like Facebook, where you can post messages, share things with people, you can upload pictures, you can share links with people. But what we like about Google+ is that you have a lot of control over the privacy of who you're sharing things with. And we're going to get into some of those specifics in just a moment. So Google+ is accessible through your apps launcher in your Gmail. And I'll just do a quick showing of my mail here. I'm in my digital learning team account, so it might not look the same as yours does right now, so give me a second. So there's my inbox, and I have my apps launcher over here on the right-hand screen. Let's see. You should be seeing my screen there, but maybe you're not. I should go back. Okay, I'm going to stick with this right now before I go into Google+. Okay, looks like we're it's a little delay. I'm just watching somebody's computer here, so I am going to go back to that mail thing for a second. The apps launcher up in the right-hand corner of your BPS Gmail has a Google+ icon, and that's where we're going to be working today in just a moment after I take you through a few of the whys. And so that's how we get started in our Google+ page there. I'm back to my presentation as we go through some of the Google+ things about why we're using Google+, and how it might benefit us and our students. One of the things we can do, as you saw in that little description, we can curate and access educational content. I don't know about all of you, but I've been teaching for over 20 years, and I used to have file cabinets full of folders, curating Times Magazine's articles. I was a history teacher and National Geographic, anything I could get my hands on. I had folders and copied newspapers and magazines. These days, I need to do that online. There's no need for having those big metal cabinets any longer, but I can curate things and keep them in the cloud. And that's what one thing Google+ helps us do. It helps us find educational content, people recommend it, people sharing things with other people. Teachers seeking to expand their professional development and enhance their own learning opportunities, and sharing. This is all about great conversations. When you find an interesting post, you can support it with a +1, or tell the world about the stuff you love by creating and posting to your collections. So if you're losing track of things that you're seeing on the page, if you just refresh your page, you should be able to see what we're doing. And right now I'm still on my slides looking at what is Google+. So I'm going to go down one and just, how does it work? Some of the things you're going to do in Google Plus is you're going to set up your profile, show the world a little bit about who you are and what makes you tick. This is a way to sort of upload a picture and to give a little bit of background information about you. You don't have to do that much of it, but a little information, especially a picture. It's always nice to associate a face with a person's post, and that way there's that personal element of connection that you make with people. So we want you, one of the tasks this week is to set up your profile in Google Plus. And your profile is where people can find out things about you as well. And you can control your sharing settings. And I know privacy is a big concern with educators. And so we want you to have confidence that your privacy settings can be set as you wish them to be. They can be for the whole world to see the things that you post, or you can share things with specific people, or in Google Plus we call them with circles, and circles can be made up of friends, colleagues, families, associates. You can create your own circles and add people to those circles, and when you share something in Google Plus, like posting to Facebook, you can share them with specific people or circles. And that's what we like a lot about the Google Plus and being able to share things. So you can share things with the right people, and then you can share things with other people professionally, personally, as you see fit. Those are circles. Google Plus Communities, which is another task that you have in your BPS Learns course this week, is to talk about things that you're interested in. In my communities, as I'll show you in a few minutes, I belong to a lot of Google communities. I like to pursue interests around the connected educator communities. I'm always open to seeing what other communities are out there. I explore them and decide if I want to join them or not, or just check in with them once in a while. And you have the ability to create communities. And I know as schools are seeking ways to communicate with families and students, this can be a public community where you share resources with people who have the link and have been approved. You can close a community so that strangers can't join it. So it's a good place where you can advertise events, you can put up links and resources, post videos and photos of what's going on in your school to the right people. So it's a very easy way to share things that way. Along with the Google Plus Communities and Circles, we also have the events. And events are very cool. They are events that you schedule in syncing with your Google Calendar. And if you haven't used your Google Calendar a lot recently, we're going to go over that in next week's session, just some logistics about Google Mail and Google Calendar, which will help you work very efficiently and sync all those apps. But events in Google Plus are a great way to schedule things to see with your Google Calendar. Hangouts. We love Hangouts. Hangouts are video conferences that can be up to 15 people. Hangouts are a way that if you are struggling to meet someone in person, or if you have a quick question to somebody and you want to you can have that face-to-face conversation, but you don't want to text chat, you can select a Google Hangout or create an event for a Hangout. And I did that this morning with a group of teachers. We scheduled it, and everyone came to the Hangout, and I could see them, they could see me, and we shared our screen together, going over some logistics about a course in BPS Learns. So it's a really great way to bring in people that you normally couldn't meet with, and to take this a step further. So a lot of people have been familiar with Skype. Skype has was one of the first video conferencing, free video conferencing tools for people. And then Skype an Authors program came out where you could request an author present to your class, so you could do that through Skype. So think about how Hangouts might be used in the classroom to bring in an Ask an Engineer Day. Maybe once a month you have a guest speaker who your students are interviewing in front of your classroom via a Google Hangout. If you're interested in more things like that, please shoot me a message and we can talk more about that. But Hangouts are a great way to engage with other adults, but also there are very many applicable classroom uses for it as well. And I'm sure that each one of you has a lot of ideas about it. about bringing in experts or community people, politicians, authors, writers into the classroom and making that real-world experience relevant to your students. Hangouts on Air is another feature of Google+, and that's what we're doing right now. This is being live broadcast on YouTube. It's a Hangout on Air, means it has unlimited audience, so anybody can see this. Anybody can see it. It's being recorded and is part of our Digital Learning Team OIT YouTube channel. And that's one of the great features of Google as well, is that you can start curating content through Hangouts on Air, through your YouTube channel as well. Creating playlists of, maybe you're teaching social studies and you're looking at social studies videos for early American history, and you can have a playlist called just that, and that's what you assign your students for them to view at home before they come to school the next day, ready to process and to work. And so I'm getting some good questions in here. Well, we have, I think that Natasha answered that question. You don't need much. All you need is your Google account and your L4L laptop, and you're ready to go. And that's what we're using today. I think Natasha answered that perfectly. So you are good to go. Your camera, your computer has a built-in camera, and it has a microphone equipped already. So you're ready to go. You can even do them on a mobile device, and I'm sure some people will attest to that today who are watching this series. They're participating via their mobile device, their phone or their tablet. So it's very exciting to see that. Well, the best way to have a whole class interview somebody is to project it onto a screen. So if you have a in-focus projector, what you would do is maybe a projector and speakers, connect your laptop to your computer, and then whatever you're projecting on your screen can be projected on the wall, and students can sit in their own seats and have a big screen where somebody is presenting to them, and they can ask questions. The MacBook Pros you have and the Chromebooks you have would all work very well. They have very good sound built-in microphones and cameras, but you can also add external ones to have a more efficient, more effective experience. Very, very common thing to do is use your computer with a projector and have a Hangout that way. That's a great question. So I'm not going to read a lot of these things. I will make these slides available to you. But sharing lessons using Hangouts on Air, it's a great way to, this is, again, is about professional development opportunities. I'm going to go on to that. I mentioned YouTube and how you can curate playlists of specific content with your YouTube channel, and just another strategy or incentive is to think of Google Plus as like your teacher lounge, and how much talk and how much sharing about other important things about your pedagogy or resources to share when you're in the teacher lounge at your school. Well, this is a 24/7 accessible teacher lounge. It's a Google Plus community. You can post something, you can ask a question. Does anybody out there want to do a pen pal program? I'm an 8th grade social studies teacher looking to connect with students from another place. And I'm sure you'll be getting those responses. So Google Plus, along with Google Drive, as you know, we have been talking about sharing, copying, editing is another way to be able to continue that sharing collaboration opportunities with Google in general. Thank you, Tamika. That is the beauty of having this online work, to be comfortable in your own space while you're continuing your learning. So I'm going to switch over and go right to my Google Plus account and talk about some of the ins and outs. But I'm going to pause again, take a sip of water, and see if there are any questions that Natasha or Jen might have for me. I'm terrible at wait time, folks. I know that's a strategy as teachers we're supposed to have, but I'm working on it. So I'm going to go to my Google Plus page. I'm there now, and I want you to know this is my DLT Google Plus page. So it's not my personal one, but it's our department page. That's where we're hosting all of our BPS Learns events. So this is what it looks like when I set up this event right here. This is our week 3 Google broadcast. And this is the page that I get for that event. So it's very, very cool. So let's just orient you a little bit to Google Plus. Again, I found it in my apps launcher right here under Google Plus. And just to show you a little bit more, remember that our Google Classroom is way down here at the bottom of your apps launcher. And YouTube is right here. And don't forget you have YouTube available as well. And we haven't even touched on that, but I hope you get to explore some of the YouTube ideas during this week of Google by the Beach. So you can go in there and you can set up your profile. Over here under Home, you have your profile. And this is where you can set a picture and you can start, you can put things. We have our DLT logo. We chose a theme. I could be posting some information about myself here. I could have a collection of photos or videos. We don't have any photos here yet. Again, this is the department page, but I can put as much or as little as I want to here. So this is today's session going on here. I have also one thing I want to say is my circles. I want to mention my circles. Here I have my circles here. These are individuals in my circles for the digital learning team. These are communities that I belong to or have explored, and these are other events that I have coming up. So this is all the things that have been on our page. We have posted a lot of videos, as you see, not posted, but recorded a lot of videos in the past year. All of them are here and accessible via our Google Plus page. So as I go into my profile, I'm going to go into things that that will help you sort of get oriented. So these are circles here. The suggestions that you see here are people who are in the Boston Public Schools. If you're saying, who are these people and why are they suggesting that I connect with them? Well, they're other teachers. And as you can see, they're all Boston Public Schools teachers. And so I could see people who have me in their circles. I might want to have them back. And this is my digital learning team. There's Natasha there. There's me there. And there's Liz. So we have a lot of people in our circles already who have me in their circles. And these are my circles here. So I have different circles here. I have friends. I have my friends' circles. I have my family. I have acquaintances. I have a digital learning team. And I have a BPS circle. So when I share something, I can share something to a specific circle. So I'll just show you how we can do that. When I go to my home page, if I want to create a new event, and I'll say, this is an event. Join us for the back channel, or excuse me, virtual office hours. Next, when is that? On Tuesday, or rather Thursday, at 3. And I can attach a link here. If I wanted people to look at something before our virtual office hours on Thursday, I could add a link here. I could add a YouTube video. I could make this an event. I could do a quick survey. Will this time work for you? And then I can decide who I want to send it to. Anyone in Boston Public Schools, maybe I want to make it public, or maybe I just want to add certain individuals here. So I can add individuals to that. I want to add Liz to that one. I want to add Jan. So I could go down here, I could search by people and bring Natasha in, or I could bring all of you in as well. And that's what I could do here. I could invite everybody there to be able to attend this and be notified that they've been invited to this particular event. So it gives you a lot of opportunities. I'm going to delete that one because I do want to invite people. I'm not going to do it right now. But that is something I could post and share with a particular group of people. You can schedule an event. You can add photos. If you are advertising for your school, you can upload photos from your computer, or you can have a Google photo collection there. You can drag photos from your computer. So it's a nice way for you to sort of give a portfolio of what's going on in your school by sharing pictures. You can also share links. And this is a great way to say, I found this article or this great resource. Liz and I and Jan and Natasha are always sharing resources with each other. Check out this link, this article. This is the new social media policy Liz just shared with us as she's working on those things. And for Waltham Public Schools now, and social media is a policy, is a must. So we want to make sure that we send appropriate links. And you can, again, you can send it to whomever you like. You can add individuals or people from your circles. You can add directly a link to YouTube. What's the URL in YouTube? It could be our enter a URL here. You could post other things that you do. You could record a video, or you could upload a video as well. And then you could schedule the event, as I said. Now you can add a theme, and that looks like a birthday theme. I think we need something more like a, that looks enticing. I'm not sure what that theme is, but we could schedule an event here. And this is a nice way to send it out. Again, who is it going to go to? It could go to your circles. It could go to everybody. It's a nice way to sort of promote an event. Again, you have control over who receive these things. And another way of doing a quick poll, you can ask a question and then put an answer. You can put in a camera and then get some instant feedback. Was this webinar helpful to you about learning Google series? Yes or no? What are your next steps? Some simple questions. And you can send that poll to, again, to whomever you like, making it public, making it private, sharing with individuals as you see fit. So that sort of talks about the circles, and it talks about the things you can do in Google Plus when you set up your event, after you've set up your profile. You can post things that are new. Now, like a lot of you, I am a little bit shy when it comes to participating in social media. And so I tend to lurk in some communities until I get comfortable. And until I get comfortable, I start, I'll just be sharing resources that I see. I'm pausing for a second, and Jackie has a question. I'm going to read it, Jackie. Thank you. If you send out an invitation to an event, are you able to see if those that you've sent it to have actually viewed the invite? Yes, you can. You can see it right through your Google Calendar. That's what's nice about that. If you invite certain people through your event, it syncs with your Google Calendar. And if you've ever created an event in your Google Calendar, you can see that if you're invited to an event, you get, "Are you going?" question, and you say yes, and then it checks off, and the person who scheduled it can see it. That's an excellent question, Jackie. Google Calendar and Google Plus events have really done a lot for sharing and syncing those two tools. Only if they respond, right? They have to respond yes and no, but it will tell you who has not responded. Thank you for sharing those responses, Natasha. And so you can see on my home page in my Google Plus page, I have some upcoming events that are important to me. I have today's broadcast. I have next week's broadcast already scheduled. And then I have posts by people who I follow or communities that I have joined. So Erin McDonald, Greg McBurry are people that I'm associated with in Google Plus, so I look forward to their posts. And I see them and the postings. I take a moment to see if I like it. So I will do that. Again, this is the department page, and it's not my personal or my BPS one, so mine might look a little different. But this is essentially my home page. Over on the left side of the page, you have a drop-down menu. It's important that you become familiar with that page and be able to navigate it. And one of the tasks this week is to explore some communities. The article that I gave you to explore gave 5 good communities that educators must be a part of or must investigate. And those are, a lot of them happen to be Google communities or ed tech communities, because there's a lot going on in educational technology that affects all teachers, not just technology teachers, but content area teachers. It's about being 21st century educators and about being a connected educator. So you can see these are my communities here, and these are communities that I've joined. I have a Chromebook community. A lot of us are exploring Chromebooks, and unfortunately, Boston Public Schools has a lot of Chromebooks that are being underutilized. Yeah, I want to repeat myself on that one. We have a lot of Chromebooks out at schools that are staying in closets because people are unsure how to use them. Chromebooks are easy to use. They are inexpensive to replace, so get to them. If you know of Chromebooks at your school, this community might be a great place for you to explore. If you have questions about it, you can see here's what's going on in the Chromebook community. You can ask questions, you can gain resources, see what people are posting, look at some different resources that they're shared with you. So Chromebooks are a great tool, and they are being, across the country, they are being used not just for testing purposes either. The great thing about Chromebooks, of course, they sync with our Google accounts. So you sign in with your Google account. In our case, for teachers, it's our email address. For students, it's their email addresses also, their BPS Google email addresses, and then they have access to all their drive the same way that we do. So immediately have access. It boots up in 8 seconds. You can't lose things. They're always in the cloud. It can have many users from one period to the next. It doesn't matter as long as everybody signs out. That's one little condition that is really important reminder: sign out of Chromebooks when they're not in use. So this is that one community. I'll just go back one. You can see I have other communities here. We have Digital Learning Team community, and this is a community that I mentioned in our website, our course page, the BPS Digital Learning Community, and I would like everybody to sort of think about whether or not they would like to join this community. If you'd like, I would, if you see an option to join it, please do. I can share this out in our course if you'd like, and I hope that you can join it. I see that you see that Liz and I have been putting some links up there. We have access to our Digital Learning Team blog, our YouTube channel, and our BPS Learns course page. So we have lots of resources to share during Connected Educator Month. We will be sharing Connected Educator resources. Some of our recorded videos are here too. There's our social media discussion with a teacher from Boston Latin Academy, Lily Marshall. Can you invite people who are not in Google+? Natasha, I think you can. I think that as long as they have a Google account, they can. Let me get back to that. I'm not sure if that's the case. That will be a question to follow up on. So the Digital Learning Channel, sure. I'm going to just take a look at our Digital Learning Channel. I think I had that. So here it is here. Well, thank you, Blake. I think you're saying yes. Please send us this, share this community with people, and I will do that. I will put the link. I think I did put the link on our course page. So please join if you haven't already. There's our Digital Learning Tube channel. And again, everybody who has a Google account, every teacher that has a Google account has their own YouTube channel. It has to be confirmed. So when you go to create your channel, they're going to send you a confirmation email to make sure it is you and your email address that's signing up. And what you can do is you can create, you have a home page, and you can have all your videos, but more importantly, you can have playlists. And we're going to be posting a lot of playlists here in our YouTube channel. In fact, we have teachers right now over the summer are creating tech tip videos for us, short 2 to 3 minute video tutorials on all the questions that you'd like to ask and call the help desk with. Things you can do in Aspen, sharing folders in Google, accessing My Learning Plan, changing your screen size on a Chromebook or something like that. We have lots of tech tip videos coming out and a whole array of subjects, so that'll be one of these playlists here. If you want to know more about Google series, Google series videos. You can play our videos from the Spring into Google series, and don't want that to start there. But you can see we have a few here on the right that have all of our Google series right here. We had 5 videos last spring. So I'm going to pause again and see what kind of questions I can respond to. Good question, Vicky, about using it with students. Right now, students will not have Google Plus accounts. We're working on activating Google Plus for students, but we want teachers to use it first. It's one of those things where we have to get good at it. We have to understand the privacy and the conditions, the responsible use that goes along with using social media. Once teachers are comfortable using it and they understand the protocols, then we will be opening it up for students as well. But students can do a lot of these things with just their Google accounts. They can watch the YouTube videos you post on your YouTube channel playlist. They can be part of a Google Hangout if you wanted to hold office hours using Google Hangout with students, say for a 7 o'clock help session. In the evening, you can invite up to 15 people to participate in a video chat and share your screen. Setting up your YouTube page, question just came in, is thank you, Jackie, is once you go to YouTube, if you go to your app's launcher, it's a pretty simple process, I think. I haven't done it in a while. If I go to my mail, there's my mailbox there. If I go down to my YouTube channel, then I may be asked if I wanted to upload a video or something, Jackie, you may be asked in some small print on that screen that you have to confirm your account. So play around with it and experiment. Don't be afraid of making a mistake. You will not break Google. You will not break your laptop. The point of these workshops that Natasha and I, Liz and Jan all do when we're talking about professional learning is giving teachers time to play. And by play, we mean experiment, explore, share, make mistakes, and try again, ask questions. So please don't hesitate. I think that, Vicky, I'm looking at your social media concern with younger students. If you think about it, Vicky, young students are already doing a lot of things, but there are ways to incorporate social media types in your classroom, like blogging, for example. One of the tools that Google has is Blogger, and that's maybe where students can participate in commenting, where a teacher posts an article and students comment, and they learn the appropriate use, the responsible use of what it means to be sharing with a public audience. A lot of these social media things you can keep very private too. But if you are engaging with students, we have some recommendations for putting out letters to parents that I'll post to our course page, but also be sure that you're aware of the acceptable use policies that have been signed or not signed at your school when you're working with students online. Those are a very important legal issue for all students, so please make sure you understand that. But remember that, as I said, I think in one of our last broadcasts, me growing up, I had to learn how to write friendly letters and thank you letters, and I had to know how to correspond with traditional mail. These days, students need to know these tools. These are 21st century skills that they need to know how to email. They need to know how to post and comment to a blog, how to write short, succinct, clear messages on things like Twitter, because a lot can be captured in 140 characters. And so when we are talking about BPS, Google, we are talking about opportunities to help students cultivate these skills that they're going to be required to learn in their to use upon graduation. Great. I'm glad you like that idea, Vicky, for using Blogger. It's something that we're not going to cover specifically in this course. We had to be selective, but maybe next week we can talk about a little bit about Blogger. Or you can check it out, Vicky, and you can give us some information. We'd love to learn from other people and what they're doing. Great. So I'm going to go back to my Google Plus page. As I was saying about activating your YouTube account, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked a little bit. Your YouTube account is right there in your apps launcher, but you may have to get it activated before you can use it or upload a video. But please try it out, set up your channel, and then go crazy putting in YouTube videos. Remember that YouTube is blocked in the school, but students can view these videos from home or from mobile devices. And if you have videos that you think should not be blocked at your school for some reason, then you can contact our OIT office and we can work on getting that unblocked. If you remember about accounts, last week I think we talked about how you get student accounts for your, how you access accounts for your students. And Chris Costigan in the OIT office can help you. He's very, very prompt at responding to people. So please contact Chris Costigan. I know Natasha and Jan know his email address. Maybe you could post Chris's email address there. It's ccostigan@Boston, who can help you out with your students' accounts. I love the back channel, folks. Thank you so much for sharing your questions and your experiences as well. I'm going to go back to my Google Plus page. There I am. So this is my community page. As I said, it shows me the communities that I've been a part of. And these are communities that are recommended for me. You know, of course, Google looks at my experience. And, you know, so this isn't just me, but this is our digital learning team. So these are communities that have been recommended. And I just love the photos in these communities. Very engaging, very sharp focus, very high quality photos, really nice. And I might explore some of these communities. I might not. If I'm looking for famous quotes for, you know, a prompt for every day to engage and motivate my students, I might look at that community. If you're a foodie, maybe there's some cooking communities or gardening communities out there that you'd like to join. How about Chromebook accessibility? And notice some of these are small communities. They may not have a lot of people. This one over here, teaching resources, 62,000. Our chat community, 77. So there's quite a difference out there. So explore your community, search for a community if you like. You might find that you could type in something up here and talk about a community that you're not aware of, and there's a connected learning community that I might decide to join. I'm going to look over some of the posts here. I might look at the About feature. Okay, a lot of YouTube viewers, if you make a YouTube video, isn't it public domain to all YouTube viewers? No, it is not. Good question. Regina, thank you. Good question. You can set permissions on your YouTube videos to keep it unlisted. So it is not a public video. It would not be searchable. But when you do keep it unlisted, if somebody has the link to it and they share it out with somebody, then it could be viewed by other people. But if you're sharing it with your school community and it's unlisted, then it is not public to all of YouTube. Is there a way to put YouTube videos onto the computer to view at school? That used to be a good option, but these days, you know, hard drive space is so limited and videos are so big that you can download videos. We used to have an application called KeepVid, I think it was called, or you could download it. But if you wanted to use YouTube videos at school and you didn't have the YouTube channel blocked, the best thing to do is it would be to download them. The second best thing would be to be able to unblock the video for the day. And we can work with somebody here at our office, Jerry Conley, who monitors our filters for stopping inappropriate content, and she can work on that. That is an ongoing issue about YouTube, so we are really advocating for the opening of YouTube. But we need to know that schools are being responsible and not exposing children to inappropriate content, which is out there. Thank you for all these questions. These are excellent. Natasha and Jan, thank you for sharing them with me. Again, so I've explored communities. This does look like a community I'd like to join, so I'm going to follow this community. I'm going to put it right there. So now I have access, and so I'll receive notifications on this, on when this community posts anything. And that can be a little overwhelming in your email, folks. One thing's about all of these sites that you join, and you don't want to get an email every time somebody does something. You can go into your settings under the left-hand side of your home page in Google+, on all the way down to the bottom. You can go to settings, and this is where you can set your notifications. So this is important to take your time looking at this. There are many here, but it is important that you understand who can send you notifications. Boston Public Schools, comment on posts. If you have more, you need to understand more, there's always a learn more section. So you can do that. You can be emailed at that specific thing, or you can add a phone number and receive a text message. So generally, if you want to receive notifications by email or phone when somebody posts, you can check that off. Mentions you in a post or shares a post with you directly, you want a notification. It's good to know when you're being talked about, or somebody's saying, sharing something directly with you. So I like to keep those for this group. When people in my circles, when somebody adds me to a circle, I want to be notified. I'd like to see who that is. Maybe there's a connection there that I can make with them, and an opportunity to collaborate. And again, so you have more opportunities to do that. All of these settings, tagged in a photo. All of these defaults are notifications. If you uncheck it, you will not be notified. And again, just going down, invite you at a video call, starts a hangout with you. It's really important that you keep those notifications on, otherwise you may miss an important conversation or connection with another educator. Great. Yes, Tamika, you can request videos to be unblocked if you are using them. If you have to give us a little notice, that's not the best solution. We have 6,000 teachers in Boston, and we can't accommodate everybody on a single day. But that is one to do. One of the things you might want to consider is the whole movement of flipping the classroom is, showing videos at home, assigning videos for homework, and let the classroom be a place where you can discuss, process, work through the content of the video. You can make your own videos too and post them to YouTube. We didn't talk about that, but that is an exciting opportunity. You can record things right from your MacBook Pro, and you can upload it right to YouTube and say it's a little introduction to your classroom this year. Welcome back to school video. Students and parents could see it when you post it to your YouTube channel. You just send the link out to your students, and maybe you do that through your Google Classroom. Maybe you link it from your Google Classroom. What we're talking about here is having a place where your students and maybe even your families can go to find out what's going on, and that's what we call a landing zone. Whether it's a website or a Google Classroom, a place where your students can go to get information about what's happening that week, that day, where they can get information about their learning. So I'm not going to go through all the settings here, but you can see that there's a lot, and go through that. And if you can always come back and change your settings. Your mailbox can be set up so that you have different tabs at the top, and we'll talk about this next week. We'll get into some Gmail sort of organization issues and calendar organizations next week as well. I love the comments going on in the back channel. I'm going to see if there are any more questions coming in. So we're at the top of the hour, folks. So we're going to start wrapping it up, because I know no one's going to come back and watch this hour-and-a-half video. It's a long time of listening to Ed talk. So we want to be as concise and as efficient as possible and on your time. I'm going to go back to the course page in BPS Learns and just remind people. Oh, great question about Aspen, Jim. Absolutely. Aspen can serve as a landing zone. Aspen Pages, Jim, is a great place to have students and families. You can put up your links. You can have a forum in Aspen Pages. So yes, absolutely. Not enough people are using Aspen Pages, and see more frustrated with Aspen because they're not using some of the easy to use resources there. So yes, they can Aspen as a landing zone. So Aspen Pages, if people aren't familiar with Pages in Aspen, it can be a landing zone. Let's see if I can quickly go into Aspen. Oops, it is. So when you log into Aspen, there are already a lot of pages in Aspen that schools are using, that teachers are using, departments are using. It's a nice way to stay within one place. Here's our page directory. I hope you're seeing my screen and my Aspen screen. As I log into Aspen, I have a different site as you. Just refresh a little bit there, Jan. You should see it. I'm in my Aspen page, and I have a page directory on the left. And these are all the pages. If you want to, if you'd like to create a page in Aspen or learn more about that, I can send along or post some resources about creating pages in Aspen. But you can see what it looks like here. Here's a, let's see if we have a technology page. There it is there. Our department has put together a page, and more importantly than just looking at what's on the page is how it is on the page. You can have a banner here at the top. You can have an ongoing blog. This is technology updates. So you can have these different features on a page. You have a resource area where you upload folders with content in it. They can be links to Google Docs, or they can be Word documents, PDFs uploaded there. Here are links to specific resources and support things. And then there's just some professional support, educational apps. And over there we have a blog. And this is just some of the things that we have on our course page. But each one of these blocks is editable, and you can add them. I'm sorry about the loss of connection there, Tamika, or rather Beth lost her connection. But when you edit a page in Aspen, so you have all these what we call widgets on the side. I'm not going to get too into that, but you can add these components or elements to your page to make it a great landing zone for your students. So before I mess that around, I'm going to go back to my page. Yeah, Aspen is a little bit of a sleeper. People are not aware of the pages in Aspen and the family portal things in Aspen, where parents can log in and see up-to-date assignments, homeworks that are due, and special events coming up. They can see a calendar. So it's really worth pursuing. BPS Learns will have some resources, some learning resources on Aspen soon. We're getting a lot of requests for it. And so we want to be able to make those available to teachers and to school leaders. I'm glad that you go back, Tamika, and are able to watch the broadcast again. I appreciate that. I hope it's not thunderstorms out here. I'm riding my bike home soon, so I hope I make it. I'm still looking for any other questions coming up, Natasha or Jan. I'm going to go back to my course page here. And there's Liz. She pops up quickly. So Google Classroom. Oh, I'm going to go back to, excuse me a second, week 3. So if you have general questions like the Aspen pages or Google YouTube, I'm back in our BPS Learns course page, and I want to draw your attention to the top block of the page, and that's where we have a learning forum. And I see that we have had some discussions on here. We had a week 1 good strong showing in week 1. Please feel free to add a new discussion topic. Name it what you like. I'll reply. I'll investigate it later today and over the next couple of days. So if you have those questions, please, I can share resources. And Jan and Natasha might even hop in there too and see if they can support any of the questions that you might have. So please add some information about that in the Learning Forum section. If you have a resource that you think would be valuable to other people in the course, please share it with me. Share it in the Learning Forum, and I will put it in our resources. So here's our Google Resources. Session recordings will be posted there. I will post the chat in today's meet because it's nice to see the ongoing back channel discussion. I'm about to wrap it up, folks. Again, your challenges for this week: set up your Google Class account, explore 2 communities, and write a short review of it. Would you recommend that community to other people? What was the focus of that community? Start a Hangout or a Hangout on air. I'm looking at, yes, where your assignments are. Great. Are you, I hope I'm sharing my screen now. Good. And for today's session, for this week's session, under the beginning of the top block there, right above the video, I have this week's tasks center around assignments, and I'll take you right to one here. So there is a list of the assignments. I won't repeat them all, but they're right there. That's what your tasks are. If you go down to the challenges, and this is where we submit assignments. So let's say that our first assignment, we're going to show Ed that we submitted an assignment. So down here, there's my grading summary, and here's how I add a submission. If I was a student, I could write a text here. I say, Ed, I started my Google Plus community, a little description of it. If you can take a screenshot, and I'm not sure if screenshots are, if people are having trouble with screenshots, but an easy way to take a screenshot on your MacBook Pro is Command-Shift-4, holding those 2 keys down and pressing 4, Command-Shift-4 will take a screenshot of your entire screen. That will appear on your desktop. So if I have a screenshot, excuse me, and I want to upload a file, now there it is there, I can insert, it's an image, so I want to insert the image. I would go to find or upload an image, and I would go to choose a file, and I'm looking for something on my desktop. It's spinning a little bit for me, so I would want to find that, that image on my desktop. The image on your desktop, when you do a screenshot with Command-Shift-4, has the ending, and PNG is the graphic tag at the end of it. So I don't have anything here on this computer right now. Remember, this is not mine, so it is not. If this was it, I would click that figure, open it, and it would upload that to the submission section of BPS Learns for the assignment. So I hope that clarifies people about submitting an assignment and getting credit for it. Thank you, Natasha. It does appear on your desktop, and it is PNG. You can't name it or anything, so it just might say screenshot 1 PNG. So that's one way to do it. But that's how you submit your file for the BPS Learns assignment area. I hope that helped. And I will be checking you off that you did it, so you can upload a file, a picture, or you can type in it, or both, and that way I can see that you've completed the assignment. Okay. Looking at another question.
Can they see whether
You can only see that if I graded it or if I completed it, and that would be in the grade book on the right. My look is a little different than yours because I'm an instructor in the course, but you should see your grade book over here on the right side of the page if you're in BPS Learns. I should be caught up by the end of the week on submissions for Google Classroom and on this recent Google Plus assignments. So bear with me. As submitted, it does. Good. So, okay.
If they submitted it, it would show up under submission.
If you have submitted things, it would show up under your assignments. You can view your submissions. And that way you should get a tag that says that. Jan, thank you. That's good. Yes, I think we're overloading people with a lot of things today. So we brought in Aspen, and that came out of nowhere. So I don't want to overwhelm people with too many things. Great. Okay, it is. Thank you very much. We will add it to the agenda. That's great. Thank you. Okay. Any other questions before we sign off for the afternoon and try to beat those thunderstorms? Folks, I will stay online for a few minutes on the back channel in today's meet till about 4:30. If you want to continue the conversation in the back channel, please do. I'm going to sign off from our broadcast. I'm going to come back and stop sharing my screen so I can say goodbye. And let's see where I am in my Google Plus. 1 second. I know I'm right behind here. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Okay. I'm just looking over at another computer at some of the questions. Hi, folks. There I am. I sent you some things via link and email. Should those things be resubmitted? If you don't mind, Regina, it's hard for me to go through all my emails. I'm getting tons of email. If you don't mind trying to submit it, it's also good practice for you, Regina, to know that you submitted it. You can view it rather than just trust on my email. And that way it's in the course management system as evidence that you submitted your work. If you have trouble, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to walk you through those steps again. We could even do it via a Google Hangout. And folks, that's a nice idea. If you want to practice a Hangout with me over the next few days, I'm in the office Wednesday and Thursday. So I will be available if you want to do a short Hangout to say, Ed, I did it. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great way to share your screen and to have a discussion or a meeting that you otherwise could not attend. So I'm very happy that you all participated in the discussion in the back channel. Again, thank you, Natasha and Jan, for feeding the back channel and monitoring it. It's greatly appreciated. It takes more than one person to do this work, folks, and that's what we're talking about. It's a collaborative effort. There's nothing more important for us as 21st century educators than to be good collaborators and to support each other. We will get better by joining together. I'm really excited about the upcoming year for that reason. Let me check on that, Polly. If you want me to check, shoot me an email and let me know that you didn't get a grade. I'd be happy to check on it. You know, which week were you, which assignment you submitted and which week it was. I'd be happy to check that out. Jill, I'm happy to answer any questions. So I'm going to sign off, folks, and I'm going to be on the back channel answering some of these questions for the next 12, 13 minutes. Have a great afternoon and great rest of the week. Remember, we'll be doing another Google Hangout broadcast on Thursday at 3 o'clock from 3 to 4. Our virtual office hours, a little less formal, no presentation, but just a review, question answers, and get your questions out there. Invite a friend if you'd like to hear us talking about Google and Google Plus. I'm happy to do it. So there are about 5 this week, Natasha, about 5 challenges this week. Bye, Jan, thank you very much. They're listed on the front page of BPS Learns, so please take a look there. Have a great day, everybody. I'm going to sign off now. Bye from the bowling building. Thank you for joining us for Google by the Beach. We'll see you next time. Bye.